Offloaded. It's just, it's just giving him the opportunity to offload. Right. The question was, Trevor, you think
I think I've covered all bases. You don't need to say any more now.
you answered a totally different question, but anyway, let's get back to the question.
Sorry, my
Told you it
apologies.
was going to be controversial.
I
So
feel
there you
very
go.
guilty now.
So the question was, because if you look at some of the matches, you have Ollie Watkins scoring. You have Connor, not Connor,
Gallagher,
yeah, Connor Gallagher.
No, Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
Paul
Cole
Palmer, yeah,
Palmer scoring. You have Trent Alexander um, scoring,
Arnold.
yeah, Arnold scoring that stylish penalty. You have Jude Bellingham. You have even our what's this heart player anyway? What's his name? The one what's his name? The number nine.
Uh, Harry Kane.
You have Harry Kane scoring. So you have all these different players scoring from different positions, whilst these guys were concentrating on the likes of Jude Bellingham, for instance. They were concentrating on Saka. Saka scored as well, didn't he? Saka doing that bend and scoring. Do you think that that's one of the strategies? Is it false fielding of players? Was that? Do you think he did that successfully? He did something right. We got to the finals. We're just analyzing his strategy now. We're looking at the way that he played because these were false players, really. Ollie Watkins wasn't a number nine by any means. Neither was.
He's the number nine. Ollie Watkins, the number nine for Aston Villa.
All right, is it? All right, all right.
Yeah.
What about Palmer? Cole Palmer.
Palmer is the number 10, number 8 for Chelsea.
Right, exactly. And then you have Saka,
Saka is a right winger, number
right
7.
winger, coming in and
Yeah.
scoring. So, you know, was there a is there a false false nine um tactic there? Do you think? No?
I would say no. And if you
No.
think about it, I think the Golden Boot was
Yeah.
shared by a number of players, wasn't it? It was possibly three or four or five even. And I think Harry Kane was one of them. I think I could be wrong on this, but I think they all scored two goals each. There were very few goals scored by an out and out striker for any team. And
Yeah.
maybe that just shows what I said before, that things have equalised a bit as to how people play. But there's some very good defences cancelling out some very good attacks. I mean, you mentioned Harry Kane, and I don't believe Southgate was going for this false nine or what anything else. Harry Kane, by all accounts, and I'm a great admirer of his, had a very poor tournament. Whether he was fully fit, we don't know. But I think on another day, he had to come back to try and get the ball in the second game, I think it was, because he wasn't getting it. Again, we
Yeah.
had a very low press and the midfield wasn't really working. So I don't think the fact that our goals were shared by three or four players means they were playing a false nine situation. I think it was just we weren't particularly functioning strongly up front. And if Kane had really been on song and getting the service he thrives on with a player playing off of him, he would probably have got four or five goals. I remember when Lineker played, he would come away with six or seven goals from a tournament, as other players did as well. But that didn't seem to happen in these Euros.
Yeah.
So, no, my opinion is it wasn't a false situation at all.
It was just false manager, basically.
Yeah, he was a false
Right.
manager.
To add to that,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only time you hear people say a team is playing false nine
Yeah.
is when a team has playing false nine
Yeah.
is when a team has a top nine, a number nine as their striker. Everybody knows this is their number nine. And when they start in a match, the number nine is now playing. They'll say, oh, maybe they're playing a false nine. But to me, this is my opinion now, because back in those days, if you have a prolific striker,
Right.
strikers like Aguero, sometimes they have a dry day. You know, sometimes they have a very poor day, but a prolific top striker in any competition should at least be able to manage 4 goals. Because if you look at it in any competition, for example, like the World Cup or even the Euros, you play at least, to get to the final, you play at least a minimum of 5 games. So if you're able to score 1 goal in each match, then that's 5 goals in the whole competition. But football has evolved so much these days in the sense that strikers want to score, right? Defenders want to prevent these strikers from scoring.
Yeah.
So all attention, all focus are on these strikers, right? Defenders want to do everything possible to make sure you're not getting a goal here today. And if you look at it, there are 4 defenders there. Sometimes there can be 3 defenders. So there's so much emphasis, so much focus on these strikers. And sometimes, or most of the time, they have a very, very, very poor night. So sometimes when teams know that, oh, if you put a striker in them, they might think, oh. So these teams play this false nine. Sometimes they might even have their number 9 top striker there and still play a false nine. So all they do is deceive the defender by pulling the defender away to go towards the striker. The striker might go towards the wing and use somebody else as his goal scorer. So these top strikers, that's why you see them have like a dry competition. Sometimes they don't really score much goal because all attention is on them not to score any goal. So if you see a striker who scores all the time, they play as false nines as well, because it's not every time. Like when I take my son Toby to football matches sometimes, and sometimes I'm watching from the sideline and I'm asking him, what position are you playing? What position has your coach told you to play? He said, he's told me to play as a number 9. I said, the fact that you're playing as a number 9 does not mean you should stand where a number 9 is. Football is dynamic. You go to the wings, you get the wing, you come back, like what Trevor said. Harry Kane, when he didn't get the ball, he expect the ball to get to him. But these strikers are strangling him out. They're taking him out. Before the ball gets to him, they're already there. Interception and gone. So that's why you see number 9, sometimes you see them drop to the middle to get the ball, to create space for others to run in. You see them go to the wing sometimes, get the ball there. Saka moves away from the wing, goes to the middle. You know, they change things. That's how they play for them to be able to get goal. Football has changed from the fact that you put somebody there as a number 9, you keep giving him the ball. If you keep giving him the ball, people are going to squeeze him out. They strangle him. He's not going to get the ball. So football has evolved. Most teams play false 9, although they have their number 9 top strikers there. But they all interchange. They all running around. That's why you see 3-4 people sharing goals in a team. Sometimes defenders. Even sometimes when strikers and attackers cannot score, you end up finding out it's defenders are scoring because attention are not on those defenders. The defenders are looking forward to this striker's not going to score, but defender comes all the way from the back and score. So it's a bit funny. It's
a good example of what you said.
A
good example of what you said is Man City, of course, with Haaland, who's such an expert, an excellent goal scorer. And of course, just by being there, he drags away a couple, 2